what are you doing? I think most people, that say they're using AI don't even know when they're just like this, So,
have you seen what Roger McNamee's been saying about AI?
who?
Roger McNamee.
No.
He's the guy who wrote the Facebook Effect.
No, I didn't. What did you say?
He's an investor, innovation partners. He basically says this hype about Gen AI is like CRM in the 80s, when it was so grossly missold. And all of the big companies were falling over themselves.
So what do? You're an
It's a
editor?
news portal called IoT Insights. So I've been looking at this whole area of devices and connectivity and
maybe
Internet of Things.
Maybe we can do an article together or something.
We can definitely do an article together.
Yeah, that'd be
Because
good.
I think
This is Avi, by the way. He's also
Nice to meet you.
he does a lot of inventive, like my inventor that I go around with, and he does a lot of working with ChatGPT.
he does.
Chat,
Okay. So
audio basically and voice.
yeah, I think there is a natural fit there between IoT and AI, because there's a lot more that makes sense being done at the edge, for example.
Right.
And then the second thing is that at the moment, we're throwing away a lot of real-world data because we don't have any way of being able to make use of it properly in real time. And at the same time, people are talking about synthetic data for AI training. So I don't know who's going to track it, but I think something is sort of happening at that edge.
I think it does well, and you don't need to be so exact. Like therapy kind of thing. You talk to me about your problems. When you even know almost the solution, but if you talk it out, you kind of come to a conclusion. I think that will be doing well.
It is specifically for businesses that hallucination is part of the business, you understand? So in entertainment, in making up stories, hallucination is part of the creative process. And this is where there's a perfect fit for AI, and eventually it will rise to other levels.
But interestingly, that's what McNamee says, basically.
What?
He says, this thing about trying to get this into the business, to run business, he says, I can't think of a single instance in which roughly good enough in tangible business terms is
It's good enough.
exactly. So
that's the first cut. You know what I mean? But if it's something like creative, or give me a song. This song was another.
Precisely. So he's more or less
like
saying the flip side of what you guys say. So he's agreeing with you. I think you're on the same page.
Right. That's where it does well. Versus, I also deal with physicians, and they want that exactness, and then they see that they're not getting that. And I said, and then they said they expect it. I said, it's not going to come like that. You have to so much training. But I think it can be, even in the medical field, it can be like a work along, like with pathology. I worked with a pathologist at the university. She saw breast cancer patients and sent her a sample. She came back and they said, after the surgery, there's no cancer. That patient went to another hospital for something else entirely, but they had to take the samples, and they said, my goodness, it is filled with cancer. And that person would have never, if I told you you didn't have cancer, you would never go for a second opinion, right? You just, hooray, right? Give me a second, let me go to New York, Mount Sinai.
and then you die.
Right, but and then what, I ended up, since I moved out of Canada, I ended up sitting with that pathologist. And she went to her, I said, explain to me in layman's terms, I'm not a pathologist, what did you do? How did you miss it? So she gave me a pathologist, she kept on saying, Sarah, I can't believe I missed it. And I said, when she showed me what that cancer was, it was not like a tumor, but it were like ants, rows and rows of ants that me and you could see. You know what I mean? But somehow you get a bad day, just like she missed it.
But when she showed it to the original doctor, she said, I cannot believe that I missed it.
You know what I'm saying? So that would be good, an AI model that would be trained specifically on that type of cancer, that could come back and say when it goes through it, 98% chance that this is still cancer. And she could then be alerted, right? And she could review it and say, oh yes, I see it now.
I'm hearing good things about its accuracy compared to humans right now. Is that
It's in very specific areas. So they've been, and this is not since Gen AI. They've been doing this for many years. Training radiology is one of the things that you can see patterns. The computer can see things that we don't even see, right? And how do you train it? You give it what you know as something benign, what you know that is malignant. Then, and you keep on feeding it. When it starts making mistakes, you know when it makes a mistake, and you feed it back, and you keep on, it's type of that training. Then it can be good.
There are also different models. It's like talking about people as if they were uniform. There are hundreds of models, and some models specialize in some area, and others in other areas. Some are good for some purpose, others are better for other purposes. So to make one generalization that applies to all of them equally is
but those specifics, so
missing the point.
In the things like, especially in medicine, when you really drug discovery, when you have to do all those permutations, combinations, that some problems that would take like a year can be done in a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the time saving is
The
incredible.
time saving parts, and then you can have the really, I think it's really good when you say no one wants like almost good enough. You have a lot of employees that are just good enough. So for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the economists have a term for it.
Yeah, but
satisficing.
Right, but you can see it.
Okay, there is also a free AI that will tell you what models are best for you and will help you use them. The company is called notdiamond.ai.
Yeah, not diamond.
So let's say-
NOT.
Not diamond.ai.
Let's say that you don't know anything about it,
You don't
right?
know what model to choose. There's so many models, right? Out
No, as
there.
a reporter, you
Right.
were never specializing in it. All of a sudden, everybody asks you to write something about it and you are clueless. So you register, and it's free, not Diamond. It is free. So you go to Not Diamond, you register yourself, and you ask this is a special AI that recommends other AIs. And you tell him, look, I'm a reporter and I have to write an article about it. I know nothing about it. Where should I start? And which model will best fit the situation?
Almost guide you to tell you what is behind the scenes.
And they all the time add more models because people propose things and then they try it out and then they find another model that's better than the recommendation. They go back to it and they tell it, you didn't tell me about this model. I tried your opinion and it didn't work so well, so I researched it some more and I found this model that you didn't, and they list you all the models that they're considering and they score them based upon whatever you write. And you didn't tell me about this model, and then they take that whatever the responses are and the system learns about it, and the next person that comes, whatever you told them will be reflected in it.
I was flipping through Twitter or Blue Sky, and somebody was talking about something very similar. I made a note of it, but it's almost as if, and people say, yeah, it's the best solution, it's the best one,
It's a startup.
but I'm not sure. What you just described here sounds much more comprehensive.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying exactly you. I'm not sure, I don't know what to do. So this company, there was so much confusion and ambiguity and hallucination that this company said, hey, the biggest problem, everybody wants to try it, but nobody knows what to do, especially...
And you can't afford to pay each of them to...
Yeah, and some of them charge a lot. and they consider, you tell them I want something free plus something that will help me in my journalistic activities, and I specialize in this and that industry, and it will rank all 40 models according to the fit to whatever you say, and then you can follow up on it. And it will also enable you to develop a personal AI. Not only will it take this model, but it will plug this model and it create a version that is customizable for you. And anytime the company revises and updates the model, and it is still free, they will automatically revise and update it for you. So you don't have to deal with every time going to check.
What's their revenue model then? How do they make money? These companies?
Because they become, first of all, extremely popular, and the growth rate is phenomenal.
But they also have
So much so that when we offer them to invest in them, they said
we wanted even to be investing.
they didn't want to take
we
any
wanted to have a
money.
meeting with them for investing. They go, for right now, maybe next year we can. We don't need any. So basically, for
And they have the
advanced,
biggest.
for
They have
novices, it's free. But if you're an advanced programmer and you want to do something, it's just cheaper. You pay them fees, but you'll be able to use many models. So what developers will do is they'll subscribe to, let's say, 5 different systems. So this way, they go to one source, and it's much less expensive.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
So they kind of are almost like consolidating those and then testing those.
Yeah.
And what they say today is not going to be. And everything's moving so quickly. That's
the thing,
the issue.
because even if you had the money, you don't necessarily have the time.
And it's moving so quickly, even just to find out everything.
And when you look at the investors, they have a list of the investors in their company. There are a lot of billionaires that have invested in this company. I couldn't believe that the company refuses to take money.
You know what I mean? We have enough. We just get it done. You know what I mean? It's not. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So do you own this, or what is this?
Yeah, that's something I started a while ago.
Okay.
So basically, in terms of history, I studied electronics a long time ago. I worked for
In Britain?
in the UK.
UK.
And I worked for a health district. I worked for British Telecom. I worked for Nortel and Alcatel.
Okay, yeah. And you did what there? For instance, Alcatel, what did you do?
In Nortel, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was in the days of proprietary mail, when things were, I'm not old now, but when things were on
How
host.
old are you? Right now.
I was just 66.
Wow. No way. Can you imagine
Yes,
66? Wow. Yeah, that's it. Right.
You have somewhat of a baby
You
face,
have a
I
baby
think.
face. Yeah. But anyway,
look
wow.
young. Younger.
Trying to sell strategic consulting.
Right. Yeah.
Right, they all want, but they don't see those insights that you have. Those kids will
Like
not have
strategy, for example, for strategy,
strategies work.
because strategy is all talking about the future. It's hallucinative. 90% of it is hallucinative.
You talk about somebody's
and,
strategy, right?
and at least nobody can prove when you tell them about the strategy that it's wrong.
And things move so quickly. Yeah, that's where it's good. So what did you want? So what did you do it? Just
Oh,
for
sorry.
example.
So at British Telecom, we were working on Protocol X25 in the early days.
Oh,
basically
yeah, I remember
networking.
X25. Yeah.
So yes, X25 was just coming in. IBM,
Yeah, I remember.
TechNet,
That
all
was
kinds of crazy
right.
things at the time. And so British Telecom was trying to create a large switch using some proprietary technology from a company called Camtech in the UK. They were creating these packet assemblers, disassemblers, putting them on a Cambridge ring and so on. Anyway, so then because of the knowledge of X25, I got headhunted into Nortel when Nortel was starting up in Europe. And I did everything else, product marketing.
Oh wow. So for like kind you're unusual. You went on like marketing side, more marketing in the user.
Yes. So I did sort of marketing, business development, things. For example, managing the rollout of features on the switches, on the switches. And at Alcatel, Alcatel had 2 switches, if you remember, in the big days, and Alcatel was trying to get into the US market against AT&T. And so I was involved in the team that was trying to build this business case to come and compete in the US market. It was also around the time when we had these cable operators. The market was just
Yeah.
anybody with right of way. You got a railway, you're going to become a network
Yeah.
operator. You got some canals, you play some fiber.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a wild time.
So how did you get to this finally?
Well,
Is this the only thing you do? Or you do other things?
as of now,
Yeah.
until a week ago, I was working for Gisek and Decker. The G&D is a German company that is in the security space. Their claim to fame is they've invented the SIM card. So they're into sort of financial back-end, security type things, and also
And you were doing the
I was doing
for them,
business development,
Business.
trying to engage with system integrators and so on.
uh-huh.
But before that, I had a short spell at IDC, and
I
before
heard-
that,
I
I was
heard-
independent. So I was doing that for quite a while,
Uh-huh.
and then the banks don't understand monthly income, so I
Right.
still have a mortgage.
Right.
So I need to go back into permanent employment. So I went to work for IDC.
Uh-huh. And what industry did you look at IDC? Or that was not
Well, interesting. IDC was making a lot of money by just selling,
air.
white papers.
Yeah, they were big on all that.
Infographics.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a really big thing.
Yeah,
infographics. and
Right,
stuff.
right.
I didn't believe because I thought they were like trying to compete with Gartner and this
Yeah.
stuff. There was a little bit of that, but not most of the stuff was literally infographics
Yeah.
and,
I remember.
and so on. Anyway, the I shouldn't speak ill of the because we agreed to part companies. But basically, there were people there who couldn't write, who were trying to make out that I was incompetent.
Yeah.
People head of telecoms and hadn't worked a day in the industry.
Yes, yes. But those are at least you can get it. They're incompetent, in my point of view, that all of those, then AI can really help those people to at least get to to something that makes sense.
Yes.
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? And then they have you up here that you can even evaluate what they do. You know what I mean? But they were so low down that it becomes an embarrassment. They're useless. You know. Yeah.
So in answer to your question, I've seen several sides of it. I've
Yeah,
seen these
right, and you've seen the hype
side.
too. You've been
I've
around
seen
it.
the operator side of it.
Right, and the hype on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there have been quite a few hypes around.
Yeah, a few, all the time. But this is not going to go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been through a lot of things where I've seen the cycles. It's going to change, and so it's not going to. In some areas, not. In my opinion, it's not going to adapt as quickly. But
I mean, IoT was at the top of the hype cycle, as
Yeah.
it were. But I think people tend to sort of latch onto something,
Yeah.
hype it to the basic. Sometimes I show my age. I say, look,
right,
I remember when networking was a prevailing paradigm.
right.
Everyone wanted Cisco networks, Bay networks, Norton networks. Everybody wanted networking is such a big cool thing. It's just getting to the point.
Right.
And there is no reason why the same shouldn't happen with
Well,
IoT
right.
or any of these things.
So you get subscribers. So how from the business
The
school?
business model for that
You know,
was
I
very
can't
simple,
help.
actually.
Right. So what's your business
Um,
model?
The
It's a
idea
good
was
name.
to partner with people who wanted to be seen as a leader in a particular aspect of IoT. So maybe a technology lead or somebody who wanted to be seen as the best guys for IoT for sensors, for example, or the best
So it's
guys
like
for
a-
IoT for.
So show me.
As
so
you're
this
asking.
is like, yeah. So you go to the vendors and you kind of
So people are paying. So my
you can make that a little larger.
yes.
You'll see
let
my
me,
age too.
Or just stretch
this
it.
is an
Yes,
example of this is an example of part of the deliverables. Oops,
Okay. Yeah.
what's happening here? Yeah.
Okay.
So part of the deliverable was we partnered with somebody who wanted to be seen. I want to be seen as the best guy for IoT for construction.
Okay.
What we do is we create a construction page on the IoT Insights portal. So it's a hub of knowledge. We do interviews, etc., and then we go out and engage in the real world. So this is an example of
So
an
you
evening networking event.
so
I
you
produced
created-
and ran that. I produced and ran that
Oh,
event.
that is
Yes.
more
So-
brilliant than what I thought. I like
Yeah.
that.
So actually, what I was looking for was not this. It just
Yeah,
happened
no,
to,
but
it
I
just
bet-
happened to open
No,
up
but
on this.
I like that idea, and you're doing it. a hybrid, or you're doing it
Yeah, no, definitely. These days,
What are you doing now?
these days it's going to need to be significantly online.
Yeah.
But these are examples of. So that was one of them. Another
Yeah.
example was this one was looking at the cloud, the consumer and internet.
Free and evening
yeah.
event.
Yeah.
And then
Internet
you
of Things.
and then you had the vendors being
Yeah,
your
this was my partner at the time.
Okay.
And I organized it so that it coincided with an international event at the time in London. So then
Oh,
we had
that's
Telecom
great.
Serbia and all of these other guys there.
So
as
you
well.
do like an offshoot, like they'll have a conference, and then in the evening you'll do like
Yes.
meet us in and you'll use one of their rooms, or you'll do another place.
But I've built and ran IoT Summit for CeBIT. CeBIT used to be this
Yeah, I
big-
remember
yeah, okay.
CeBIT in
So I
Hanover,
did 20,
no?
Exactly, 2016 and 2017. I
Yeah.
built and ran
Right.
the IoT Summits for it. But actually what I was going to show you was
How long are you going to be in the States?
I'm here until the 13th. So that's Monday or Tuesday or something.
Yeah, it's Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Monday of next week.
Monday.
Okay. Because
So
I'm saying we're doing something with IT Expo. We're in Fort Lauderdale on February 13th.
oh, I see.
I was going to say
February-
I could invite you if you were
About AI.
about AI and the metaverse.
Send me the invitation, and then I'll see if I can manage to.
And these are
maybe
type of people.
can also
these are
come
vendors.
online.
You come online, but these are type of vendors there that you could get as possible customers. You know
Oh
those
yeah.
guys.
The whole thing is
Right.
the whole
The whole thing
convention
is
is
the
full
old
of them.
telecom guys.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
they're either looking to close the business or
So-
change to AI.
You know what I mean? Or they're
With
saying they're in.
also telephony with
They're all the telephony.
landline and
All the old telephony guys.
telephony servers.
Yeah.
I can't find. Okay,
Yeah.
bios and photos. That's not quite a multiple. Articles, presentations. Okay, here we
Okay.
go. This is more like it.
Okay.
This is what you're asking me. So basically, the idea was to create,
Axis. This
create
is the
hubs of knowledge.
security company, the camera company Axis. Or?
What
Oh
are
no,
you
no,
saying?
I'm just using different
The
axes.
Axis.
Oh,
the fourth.
Axis. There is a
I'm
company.
using,
Okay.
I'm
fourth
using
axis.
axes.
So this is
Right.
like 4 axes.
Yeah, just a way of organizing
Yeah,
information.
just to
Yeah.
see
I
his
see,
revenue
yes,
model.
yes.
The idea is to find people because there's just so much noise. Like
Yes.
right now, there's just so much noise on AI.
Right.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do AI for, I don't know, cameras, for logistics or whatever, where do you go?
Yeah.
It's spread all over the place.
Yeah.
So if somebody were to say, okay, I'm going to create a hub of knowledge about AI
See,
for sensors or whatever.
Right, and see, and here are your different industries.
This,
Oil and
so
gas.
industries, technology,
Technology.
and then maybe what's happening in different geographies. So there's some guys in Africa, for example, who are interested in putting up a page on tracking IoT in Africa. So that's what this was about. And
Some real benefits of 6
So
months
those are the
exclusive
sort of-
partnership.
so I was effectively selling a partnership, and part of the deliverable is create a custom page, do a couple of C-level interviews, maybe the interview with the CEO, interview with CTO,
Yeah.
and
And you do video,
Aggregate.
any video or no?
the site can host video.
But you don't.
I
Up
don't
and
do a
up.
lot of videos right now. There are a couple of examples there,
Yeah.
and that was the actual. So in terms of the
That's
revenue
clever.
model, this is what that was. Basically, people pay.
So what
for-
is the revenue model that the partners pay?
They pay a certain fee, and then
You
I will
advertise it?
create the page. I will create news and interviews and so on.
And what kind
the
of
page.
partners are you looking for?
Who's your ideal partner?
The ideal partner would be an organization that wants to.
To do something with
That
IoT?
wants to. Well, yes, that it's because it's IoT Insights, but IoT touches
I
just about
know.
everything.
Right.
So someone who wants to be, who is or wants to be seen as a thought leader in a particular aspect of this
You're
space.
talking about the vendors?
It
when
could be
you say-
anybody. It could be a vendor. It could be a system integrator. It could be.
Who's your best? Who do you get the
Well,
best?
as an example, if
Who
you
are
go to-
you with the most success?
Let me
we had
get
PTC,
you
for
an
example.
example.
PTC was, for example, one of my early partners.
Who is PTC?
Who's PTC?
Oh, PTC is one of the companies you really ought to know. They started in.
Maybe we know it, but I just
They
don't
started in
know which one you're talking.
parametric technology. They basically did CAD systems. And Jim Heppelman, the CEO of PTC, is one of the most knowledgeable people in this entire space. They made a series of acquisitions.
It's a British company?
No, American company. They acquired ThingWorks. If you heard of
ThingWorks.
ThingWorks. They acquired Axeda. They acquired Coldlight for analytics. They acquired Vuforia from Qualcomm to do this AR VR stuff. And more importantly, Heppelmann had partnered with Michael Porter, him of competitive strategy,
Yeah.
to go around Europe and I think Asia to host enterprises, CXOs, to explain digital industries. And together they authored a couple of papers.
So,
You're looking for profit or also non-profit
Me?
or also government to be partners
be
with you?
partners.
I'm interested in anybody who's interested in building out the ecosystem and building hubs of knowledge on this.
Let me give you an example. The city of Coral Gables.
Our city, right? It's a very rich area in suburbs of Miami. It's where the University of Miami is housed.
And they've,
That would be ideal.
they have extra
They're
money.
smart city. They're called
That's
smart
called
city.
Smart City. And we recommended to them.
We're like their tech advisors for this.
So we
the
recommended
city.
from the CS show actually
They came one
a
time.
pole in the street, an IoT center pole in the
They
street.
came from Germany, so they came out.
It's a German
They came
company.
out to CES in 2020.
They were looking for partnerships.
They were looking for partnership. So Avi found a company, it was a German company, came up with these poles that could put in the streets that can tell for traffic, can tell for weather, can tell
Has
for
cameras and you
cameras
can.
and so forth.
And they got to deal with these.
And they
when Avi
installed-
introduced them, they
and
said,
then
wow, it's like we've never
That
been in
was
the United
a
States.
perfect
They put
thing.
it-
And they wanted to get into the US market. So they
And
needed
this-
one customer at
They
least.
needed one customer, and this city has, it's funny, basically the CTO of the city is an electrical engineer that used to work for Siemens and the other
okay.
ones. So he's
Similar background to you.
very similar background to you.
And then he went to work for the city of Coral Gables. He became the chief innovation
So he doesn't
officer.
want to be called CTO, he wants to be called the Chief
Innovation,
Innovation Officer. So he goes all over the world, gets all these awards, and he's been known for what is he doing with the smart city of Coral Gables, even though it's pretty stupid.
So they installed. The bottom line is they installed one after we recommended it 3 or 4 years ago.
More, no, it's like 5 years.
Maybe 5 years. Time flies.
In 5 years in the last
And
year.
they helped the developer improve it and create a new model. And then they bought the
And
new
make it
model.
look, and they got these Italians to make it look nicer, you know, in the design work, because the city's very pretty, you know, in Coral Gables, it's like Mediterranean look, so they don't want to be like an ugly pole,
It's called City Beautiful. That is what they're promoting. And so
Right.
what it does, it measures the air pollution, the weather, all kinds of a million different
I'd
things.
I'd very much like to talk to them because that's what I'm interested in. Is really, I used to present a lot on the IoT stuff.
And they're really, but you know what their issue is? They got so much data, and they freaking don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Just like you said, they have extra data.
They
and
have so much
it
extra
just
data,
lays there.
and it lays there. How many cars pass by? What is there? The
And this is
sensors.
called an intelligent pole, and it collects so much data about things that pollution in the air,
You know, everything.
traffic, all kinds of things.
Okay,
It
so
came up. This is what it looks like. So the partners we had.
Oh,
were-
multi-tech we know.
I know multitech, right? Ahmad, right.
This is PTC.
Okay.
You ought to know them.
I know-
Because Heppelmann is.
Maybe we know them, but I just didn't associate.
Right. Right.
You probably know them for CAD and.
Right. Well, I know.
Tell
What,
me.
and what is multitech system? Is that part of his group? too?
Multitech we know.
These are just different vendors
there's
that
that
were,
over
that
in
were,
there,
member, that
right,
were
okay.
partners in the past.
Motor snapped up. I can't recall. Okay.
Sorocom, have you heard of Sorocom? They've been bought by KDDI.
Sounds familiar.
They're Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
again in the IoT. So they were partners.
Okay.
So these
Yeah,
were examples of
okay.
companies. that
And
were
other
partners.
companies that you can consider are autonomous vehicles.
Did you think about
You know,
that?
autonomous vehicles,
Like
hundreds of,
Mobileye?
hundreds of sensors. My brother is the chief engineer of
He
Mobileye.
designed the
Okay.
fastest
It's
ship in the
the-
world.
It's an Israeli company that is
Yes, I know. When they bought by
They were
Intel, they bought
were,
by-
Intel? Yeah.
But they- but
and
they
then they
took-
spun back out.
yeah, but
They
they
threw 'em out.
for,
and you know, I read today
they
that
doubled when they bought them for 16 billion. 2 years later, they
no, it wasn't 2 years.
it went a few years later. They came to the marketplace at 32 billion. And then they were cooking the book, so they did some shenanigans. The press interpreted as shenanigans, and the market value went down by
But now it's
70%.
going up again.
And now it's going up again.
You know.
Does that talk about another acquisition or something? Who is it? It was somebody looking to. The one in the news recently.
Yeah,
Can't
Mobileye.
think of what.
Yeah,
But
with
the
all
whole
their lidar and
but the
stuff.
whole industry
That's it. Yes.
Lidar. They took away lidar and they're going to.
is full of IoT. The new autonomous vehicles are full of IoT and sensors. It's
Ultimate device, isn't it? Mobile.
it's all
ultimate mobile.
sensors.
Oh, there's a battery. Let me get a
Yeah,
picture. Shall I take a proper picture of you two? I've got that's
You
full
can-
of camera gear,
Okay,
you know.
okay.
So
You can.
let's-
Do you want to go
You
further?
can take a
Or even
picture.
take a picture of this.
Take a picture of that.
Yeah, this one's good.
Where's my phone?
And then you can take it.
I took.
You know, for all IoT, and these are massive companies that have huge budget. You know, especially
I'd be
they.
happy to.
Especially
happy
the-
to do an interview with him.
No, my brother is engineering. He doesn't deal with the press at all.
He
He just, my brother developed the chip.
He just developed
He's
it.
an engineer and so on, but they,
They wouldn't let him talk to the press.
They won't let him.
He'd be too
No.
honest.
Exactly. You know, that's not his business.
no, it's also personalities.
And his personality doesn't
extremely
like-
Used to be an
shy.
engineer once.
Right.
extremely shy
And
and-
he's extremely shy. He really doesn't. You
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
extremely shy on the spectrum. What is it called? The spectrum on the
almost
autistic spectrum shyness. You know,
You know.
it's like an industrial shyness.
It's a bit
But
like me then.
Yeah.
but-
Well, you're quite
No.
social. No, he's not like you.
you know, somebody like you that will start a conversation on a table like that is
He
different.
will never start a conversation with anyone.
Oh no, my wife's. But you never know what you learn when you speak to people. Right?
I know. Well, it's just saying that's what. But I'm saying that
It's
you
interesting the way you ask me because
What?
normally I'm just listening.
right.
But I think for IoT, if you can get into this autonomous vehicle, did you hear in the news that what happened with the driverless car, that it started to have a loop? And
Today was like it was on one of those morning shows, you know, in the hotel, and somebody went in one of the autonomous vehicles, and he was in there, and it was going to take, and it kept on going in a loop, and finally somebody talked to him from the company, and they said, "Oh," and he says, "Well, can you at least stop the car?" No.
and it was going in the parking lot.
And he
And,
goes, "I'm getting music."
Yeah, I think it was Waymo.
Or another one. Yeah, maybe.
and then somebody managed to
They finally
have a
after
gain access to the camera that was videotaping the steering wheel.
and the steering
keeps
wheel
going in the
like
wheel
this, you know, and he
in
said,
a loop.
and he was saying, "Can you imagine?" He goes, "I was okay." You know, he was.
Check today's news in ABC, I think.
That
it
was ABC, one of
Or
those. morning
CBS,
shows.
all of them.
Actually, I'm not sure what I can get. I have to get it on my iPad.
Yeah.
Okay. So, together or
Yeah, we can do both.
Do both,
Okay, let's
Do both. Let's do
whatever
both,
you like.
and then you can send it to us.
Don't worry about how far apart
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
Actually,
You know, you can email him.
Yeah, what?
You
Email
can
him what?
email him the paper that I wrote
no, you're not going to pay for it.
Oh, no, email what? What?
with the
paper?
presentation in Miami, so you can see
Which presentation?
in IT Expo.
Oh, I'll send you our thing on IT Expo.
All right.
And
Okay.
about
That
what
would
we're
be good.
talking about. And if you're interested, be interested. Because we're going to get extra, we'd like to bring extra panelists to come in.
Extra panelists.
To join us.
You think I might have something useful to say?
Oh, it's you have some interesting
You have an interesting-
idea.
you
The
have-
way, whatever you do here with this IoT
See, you know, you have
insight.
you have some insights. You know what I mean? And the beauty here is we're not selling anything, and that's what I tell everybody. You know, they say, "Oh, we want your service," and we say we're not. Our advantage is we're not selling anything. You know, we're giving. So we don't feel like, you understand? We don't feel,
I understand.
yeah, that people think, oh, they're trying to sell
Budget
it.
meeting, I'll definitely like to come and support you.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm interested. That's why I asked you about your perception. You know.
Let me tell you some other thing that may be interesting for you. What we do is we reverse engineer algorithms, like to forecast the stock market, for example, and other things like that. And then we found out that the search engine are using similar algorithms to rank everybody.
Okay.
So we started messing up with the SEO, search engine optimization, and we figured out how to be number one within a few minutes on any search engine.
Oh, excellent.
And this is our presentation in the IT Expo. Is about AI. Send him you can send him from your phone.
Yeah, I can. Do you have an email? I'll send you.
Yes, it's on Abraham.Joseph.
Oh yeah, let me just send you. I had something here, and you can see.
This
some
is
things we
in
do.
next month in Miami. It is called the
What's
IT Expo. And it is an international
I'll
conference.
send it to you
Actually, I've
right
been to
now.
that in the past.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
used to be IT Evolution and Expo.
They changed the name.
Yeah.
It
they
was in
now-
Miami and
Yes,
Fort
yes, I
Lauderdale.
think I've
Fort-
been to
Fort Lauderdale.
at least twice in the past.
Fort Lauderdale
Fort
Convention Center.
Lauderdale in Miami, and we know the owner of the conference.
I probably do as well.
Another
Rich.
What's his surname?
Rich
What's Rich's last name? Teherani.
Teherani. Rich Teherani.
Rich Teherani.
Yes, I do know him. Yes.
See?
Yeah, he's
Small world.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, Rich Teherani. Let me just. I'll forward
because
this.
the whole conference, they have a special section about IoT, and it's huge for telephony servers. You know, because this industry is crumbling to digitize everything, to move it to the new ages, and enterprises especially that are using network telephony, but not the new telephony. Anyways, the point that I was making to you is another thing that we did to top the search engine results page is we were using a vanity phone number that equal to the domain name. And now we're working on calling AI. So for example, let's say that your telephone number is some number that you have here. We will make a virtual number that spells IoT inside, or a portion of it.
Yeah.
And when somebody dials it, it will terminate at an AI that will specialize in your organization. Like, have you heard about 800 ChatGPT?
Do you know you
Well, there
can
are
call
lots of
from your
800.
phone?
No, but this one, do you know what 800 ChatGPT is?
No.
So call the number,
Call the phone.
800,
Go to your phone.
and dial 800
One,
ChatGPT.
yeah,
+1.
yeah, 800,
Then you,
and then find in your key
GPT.
GT.
Okay. Chat C
And I'll send it to you.
G
PT. Look at the dialer, the letters on the dialer.
GPT.
Yeah, right.
Okay, done it.
Now listen.
Listen.
Turn the speaker on so
Turn
we
the
can hear
speaker.
it too. You'll be talking to ChatGPT.
And you can do it even on a landline. Do you have a SIM card for the United States?
Yeah, my carrier allows me to bring my plans across.
Can you turn the speaker on?
Yeah, it's on, but it's not connecting yet for some reason.
Did
Mind
you-
Right.
What
Yeah.
happened is
Did
that
you
these
type
things,
it
they're
correctly?
lots of-
Did you
Yeah,
spell
I
it
think
correctly?
242-8478.
Chat.
Yeah, I think I spelled it right.
GPT. Oh. Okay, so maybe.
Because you
Too
know,
popular.
a million people are hitting this because it
Let
is
me
so
try
new.
on my phone.
But anyways, let me tell you what will happen. You'll get ChatGPT to talk to you, voice to voice, continuous, which means you don't have to press speaker and microphone, and
They just started.
you
it a
can
couple
be
months
walk,
ag-
you can
couple
be
weeks
walking,
ago.
you can be walking around in the convention center and talk to ChatGPT and ask her question. Usually it comes out as a female.
And you don't have to have internet access.
You don't have to have internet
So it
access.
can be even on on
On
a,
older
on a
phone, you know,
platform.
the old phone, the PATS line, a plain old telephone line,
It will work.
it will work also. So they use either the cellular network or the telephony network or the internet. The point that I'm making to you is that this is what we are doing now. We are developing algorithms to help somebody tap the search engine results page, and including in it is give you a vanity number that spells the subject of your whatever. For example, we have you can write it down, phone number whiz.more.biz. Write down whiz, W-I-Z, more, M-O-R-E, period, biz.
V-I-Z?
Biz, B-I-Z.
Oh, business. Yes.
Biz, right.
B-I-Z.
Yeah.
Z.
Right.
Yeah. Got it.
And now if you go to the internet and you type it, it will port you to our website. And our telephone number spells the same thing. So if you call that number, my phone will ring.
Okay, let's try that.
Try that and you'll see.
So you gotta get your phone to work.
It doesn't matter. He goes to the website or he's
No,
dialing.
he's dialing. With
He's
one
dialing?
hand, yeah. So,
Two entrepreneurs then.
well,